you coming to pay, right? You know you coming to pay. And when a man shows masculinity, it shows everywhere that he goes, not just everywhere he goes, basically everywhere he goes. But they don't recognize masculinity first. What they do recognize is that you come with a price. They know you come with a tab, right? So you come with. So when you know the Americans come over there, they know you come with a tab. They know you come over to pay. You don't live there. You barely speak the freaking language, and you got a few dollars in your pocket. So they know what you're coming for. Let's be honest. They know what you're coming for, right? When you're over here in America, and it may be a little tougher because you know why? You gotta now you gotta show your masculinity. You gotta show you have charisma. You can hold a conversation. Let's be honest. You gotta be able to hold a conversation. Get ready to smile. Ask them questions. That's exactly. They know the count. Right. They know the count. And the single women's everywhere. We've been places sometimes. Plato is but about to go to a country to spend money on women. It's masculinity. All women really maybe want is protection and to feel safe. And men out here don't provide that. Jim Megan. She said, well, I'm going to read it for you. She said, but to go to a country to spend money on women, it's masculinity. Question mark. It's masculinity. All women really be wanting is protection and to feel safe. And men out here don't provide that. Let me tell you something. I'm not going to give her pushback because I thought when you listen to all these viral moments on social media, you think that it's all about the money. And when I get in depth conversations with women, some of them say they're willing to bend, and they might be disingenuous because they ain't gonna bend, but for so much time. But they may bend, but they always say masculinity. They always say, "Man, he don't act like a man. He's too feminine. He don't act like a man. He don't act like a man." They all say the same thing. Can they all be wrong, Kenny? So when you go to other countries to buy to pay for intimacy, you don't have to show your masculinity. All you have to do is show your money. True or false? I pulled up a statistic the other day, yesterday, right? On my it says more American women are single than ever now before, and it's costing them big money. This is the true story, right? It said nearly 118 million Americans, or about 46%, over the age of 18 are single, but the percent is actually much higher for women. A record breaking 52% of them are unmarried, separated as of 2021. 52% of 118 million of the single people out here are single, and majority of them are women. The growing number of Americans who have never been married, either because they decided to get married later in life or forego getting hitched altogether, have driven the rise of single women in the U.S. The share of never married women increased 20% over the past decade, according to Wells Fargo analysis of the U.S. Department of Commerce data. It has jumped 20% in 10 years, the amount of single women out here. So the question is, why go somewhere else? I'm going to tell you why go somewhere else. I'm going to play both sides of. Somebody keeps hitting my goddamn DM. I'm going to play both sides of the table. Kenny, you said there's a lot of weirdos out here, right? Amongst the men. It is a lot easier. Well, let me say it this way: women in America right now are working, right? They are putting in the work to build themselves up, and it's for a number of reasons. Because first of all, they can't. America is very expensive to live in, and if you don't have the right, you're not working together. Jesus, why is this doing this? Okay, this is wrong. If you're not working together with a good partner, you have to fend for yourself. Kenny, you raised a daughter, two daughters, and you had to set up a business for them in order to pay their bills, right? Right. You can't just say, okay, I'm going to sit here and wait on a dude because that may not pan out in their favor. My shit says ended. Why does it say it's ended? Why? Yo, man, this is crazy. Ken, you still there? It is live. So let me ask you a question. Do you ever have the question? So you got one daughter that's married and one that's single. What's the difference in the two in the way they carry themselves on a day-to-day basis? Somebody's coming in here.
situation. But shoot, they. I mean, well, one, is a mother and goes home and takes care of business and does what she does, and the other one, after she's done with her business, she you know might go to dinner or might go to a bar or might try to date or what I'm saying, just do her.
Oh, you said the single one. She goes out and try to meet men.
I wouldn't say she go out. Well, I guess so. Yeah.
Yeah, I know it sounds crazy, but that's just what if you go into date. Yeah. So what's her what? Okay, right. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying like in a way a malevolent way. I'm just saying like what I mean. To find a man, we all wired. We are hardwired to be with other people. We're not here to be by ourselves. First of all, you know what I'm saying. This is why relationship talks. Right. And this is why relationship talks. This is how relationship talk are so important and go viral because people want to be with other people. Let's be honest. We're not here made to be alone, right? Let's be honest here, right? What does she say about the dating market out here now? Your daughter that's single and she's very successful. She owns a daycare. Go ahead.
She said it sucks.
Why?
She's like, Dad, it sucks out here. There's a lot of clowns, a lot of weirdos. You know what I mean? So I already from what I'm saying, how I raised I try to just I try to have her to focus on her. You know what I'm saying? Don't worry about that. Focus on you because she already had a bad taste in her mouth from a past relationship from a knucklehead. You know what I mean? So from that point on, it was like, look, and it was like a long-term type of relationship to the point where it caused a lot of emotional turmoil. So at a young age, so of course we're gonna go through different things, but certain people take certain things differently. Even though I wish she would have took it differently, but she still was, hey, I felt her hurt. You know what I mean? So I was like, look, just focus on you. Try not to think about nothing else. Focus on you. You know what I mean? So that's where I come with it from. Like focus on you. Focus on getting your spirituals right.
Survival mode.
Getting your money up.
Survival mode.
Continue to get your money up. And when the time is right, the Most High gonna see you who you need to be with. You know what I mean? Stay intentional in your dealings and stay focused. The Most High gonna send you who the Most High feel like you need to be with, who you're gonna grow with. That's my, that's my belief.
Because that's right. Go ahead.
That's easier said than done because she's still, Dad, I get it, but you know what I'm saying? I'm still out here. I'm still young. Boom, I can get all that.
Right.
Have your fun. Do it. You know what I'm saying? But I guess that's the learning part, right?
Right.
That's where
survival mode.
She had to learn, okay, boom, I've been taught this, I've been shown this, but, I'm still got to do what I got to do because now I'm a young adult. You know what I mean? I'm a young businesswoman.
Right.
Doing very well for her age in this, you know what I'm saying, this time. You know what I mean?
So basically,
that's a whole difference.
You told her to go into survival mode. Because trying to find... Right, because trying to find a dude is somebody said it's lonely. It is very lonely, and it's funny you say that because I actually pulled up a statistic that said that women through the age of right now, 1 in 5 women are on depression medication, ages 40 to 59, because of one of them was loneliness or being an empty nester, which meaning nobody's in the house but them. So what you told your daughter, Kenny, was it's now time for survival mode. Because it's very hard to find a man worth giving your time to. She told you that, so well, babe, you got to focus on yourself. Now it's survival mode. Now you got to fend for yourself. It is very lonely, like she said. No, so let me say something, because there is a lot of single women out here, and I'm going to say something. And I always preach men putting in the work, right? And I'm not against marriage. I'm not against marriage, but you must cohabitating, but you must approach it from an advantageous point of view, a point of strength, an advantage, having an advantage when you go into it. Not just getting married because you're in sexual deviant. You haven't had sex in a while. You meet the first chick, and she might be the baddest chick you ever got over the last 10 years, and now all of a sudden you want to go get married because you done met a chick. You know what I'm saying? You have to approach from a point, a standpoint of, okay, I've worked myself up. I checked all the boxes that I with myself. What's up, Cino? I myself want to check. Now let me go out. Now that I have options, now let me go out. Now that I have these options, and women know you have options. Now let me go out there and get that woman that I want. Now let me do it. And I'm not saying you have to go out to another country and do it, because they're actually coming over here right now. I got a whole nother story about that. But I'm saying do it. You can try to do it here if you put yourself in that position to do it, because like I said, these women are working too and they're making the money. So the criteria on even talk to women now may be higher depending on the age of the woman. Tell you what I say about it. We'll say depending on the age of the woman. There is a trend now of older women with younger men. Are you familiar with it, Kenny? A lot of older women with younger men, right?
Yeah.
Making the money.
Yeah, older women with younger men.
Yes, it's a trend now. It's going around like crazy. It's all over the place.
Look, man, ain't nothing new under the sun. You know that,
Yeah,
brother.
because we've been young before. We've been there before, right? That made me feel like we had because that's the jam the vegan, because that's what the images put out on social media. That's why, because they always talking about if you're a man makes six figures and $1 million a year, all this other stupid ass shit. But there's a trend with a lot of older women that I know with younger women, and older women with younger men, because a lot of times when there comes to a point of loneliness, right, and you get older and you're making money, you got a house and everything, you want somebody to spend some time with, and what they're actually doing is just settling for that, because I got a lot of go ahead, go on. Okay, Yusuf, you in there. They settle for this. A man that has not built himself up in a certain position does not have the ability to take care of a woman. He cannot. He cannot. Yusuf, are you there? Yeah. He cannot put forth the. Yeah. Okay. Just turn your phone down. He doesn't have the ability to take care of a woman just yet. He's almost there, but he's not there yet. So what I notice is women who are making the money, that's 40 plus years old, dealing with a 20-year-old man. It does. It's not a. That's not a badge of honor. It's a badge of honor for the young man because he's got an older woman that take care of him. But it's not a badge of honor for the woman, because the men in her age group or older who are well established, they kind of checked out in a sense nowadays, and they're going either young or going to other countries because of the entitlement that's been going on. I don't. The women are here, right? And I want to say, and white men been doing this shit for years. White men been going east, bringing back the Asian women for years, from Cambodia, Vietnam, Philippines. They've been doing this shit for years. It's really the passport bros came popular over the last 5 6 years because of Instagram and YouTube and all the other stuff. But white men been doing it since the 70s. We bringing back the women and marrying them, and having kids by them. There was a famous news report. I forgot his name. He was famous for doing it. He was like 70. He was like 70-something year old, or like 6 year old kids and all type of stuff like that. It was all kind of shit going on for years. But so this been going on for a very long time. But the single women are here now. So the question is, why go elsewhere? Cuz, you want to jump in? Why go elsewhere if the single women are here? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
like we have roles, and the women want to play both roles.
Well, I want to say something. I want to jump into something that you said. You said over sexual, right? The women. Let me just share something with people that's here. Prostitution in other countries are legal, right? It is something that is brought up on. It is a way of life in those countries, right? Now, abortion is illegal in the Dominican Republic. It is illegal, right? So you may find a lot of those women out there are having children. They have children. They had them at 14, 15, 16 years old. Now, they may still give the feeling of nurturing, submissiveness, and so forth to the men that come over there and have worked the sex life the whole time. But men ignore it when they go over there because of the way the women treats them. And it's not videotaped. There's not a bunch of a lot of footage like OnlyFans and so forth in America, but and they got them in other countries too. But there's no recorded history of their sexual actions. Let me say it that way.
And the reality
Go ahead.
is that, though, like the men are able to go over there and feel content with those women because to those women that they feel that way. That's their job.
It's a job. Very true. It's a job. Go ahead.
Right. So to them, it's the job to make that man feel that way. And some of them are really good at their job. So they go. So the men from here they go over there, and it's not that they don't care that that woman has whatever history she has. Is that they're so good at their job they make the man feel like they shouldn't care.
So I want to ask you a question. I'm going to pin this comment with that in him said. He said, I'm him. What is that? Jesus Christ. He said, for single women in their 30s, what is the history? Is it possible that women are holding on to the trauma from the past, which affects their judgment for the future? Is it possible that women are holding on to their trauma from the past, which affects their judgment for the future?
I think the men and the women are holding on to the past, and a lot of people are scorned because you have mothers that had bad histories that teach their daughters instead of being better with a man, you have to be better than a man. That's poison.
Or better without a man, right? Mm-hmm.
Right. This is bad. Right. You have to be either better than a man, better without a man, or you know what I mean, or it's poison. And then the men see the women that way, and then like it's a whole cycle. Like the cycle that I broke down to you is like, it's and it's designed for us to fail. Like, and I'm speaking like as African Americans or Latinos, like it's designed for us to fail because if it works,
Mm-hmm.
then it becomes a problem for the system. You know what I mean? It becomes a problem for the system if it works because the black infrastructure starts to build. Look what happened with Black Wall Street, like all these things.
Well, they destroyed it, and then when what you want to get to, right? What I want to add on to what you're saying is, and they're going crazy in the chat right now. Plugs wife, Gender Vegan, Clay Day, they're going crazy for where we could put every time in the book. But chocolate is the only way, sis. I appreciate your honesty, big fat sis. I love our black men, but damn, sometimes I want to pull them on them. Pull a what? What do you mean pull a them on them? What does it pull a them on them? What the hell does that mean? Plug's wife. Pull a them on them. I don't. What do you mean pulling them on them? Plug's wife. I don't understand what you're saying. As black folk, and you touched on something, right? I mean, as black folk, we are at the hell is she talking about? Them on them. I don't know. Is that some new shit? I don't know. Let me have a drink to what she said because I don't know what the fuck that means, but I'm gonna pour a little bit of this here. I don't know. I don't know what them and them means, but I know I'm going to have me a little shot of bourbon. So what she meant, she wants to do what. But let me say something, right? You know what the problem is that we always going to counter with when you don't cohabitate with a good partner. We make life very expensive. It is, and we in New York. We from New York. Life is very expensive in New York. It's very fucking expensive, man. And most people cannot afford to be living with these expenses by themselves. They can't. They beg, borrowing, and scratching to pay their bills. That's what they're doing. Very expensive. This is why. This is why certain. And then on top of that, with the emerging of the asylum seekers, that is a move to take the unskilled labor jobs and make them cheaper. That way we can fire those who require more pay, where the minimum wage now in New York City is $16 an hour, going up to $20 an hour. We don't have to pay them $16 an hour. We can give them a free shelter, put their kids in school and some food stamps, and that's it. And they'll work. Where if we get American people, shoot.
Walmart distribution center in Indiana had over 300 illegal workers there. They had to shut down the factory. They pulled people from all over the country to go there
Mm-hmm.
and work at the facility because, like you said, now they're paying these people whatever. They actually put them up in hotels and everything.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So it's like you said, now so many things add to this dysfunction and destabilization of relationships in the U.S. Or like there's so many factors,
So many factors, right? And I don't want to get off course because this was about being single in America, but I have to add those caveats in because there's people that's listening to help them understand this block. We got to connect. But I want to get to the men now, right? Putting the work in to get these women that's running around here in these clubs. They got the makeup on, they got the lashes, they got the weaves, they got the big booties. They right here in Atlanta, New York, California, Houston, Texas, Dallas, Baltimore, Chicago. The sisters are out here. End of the day, black men want black women. Let's be honest. We want them. They just can't deal with the attitudes, right? That's what we say. Yeah, the African attitude. We want them though. So what does it take to get the women here, right? I wrote down a couple of things. I want to add it. Men must understand something, right? Dr. Ponce de Leon. That's my friend. About what's up, girl? It takes a certain type of I'm gonna say this the right way. It takes a certain energy in order to cohabitate with our women, right? Our women's a little different. Can we say that? Women's a little different, right? They may got a tougher shell. That onion is a little bit harder to peel when you deal with our women. But once we peel that onion back, the inside is the same with these women. Because when they respect you, they respect you. And to gain the respect of a sister is a little bit different because the history of what has gone, like you said, cuz what's been going on here for umpteen years and 20, 30, 40, 40 years, they've been fending for themselves for a very long time. They have been raised by women that have been fending for themselves for a very long time.
And that's the issue.
There you go.
Because
go ahead, shoot, brother. I'm gonna finish. Go ahead, shoot.
My theory is this, right? Before we talk about the fruit that the tree produced, before we talk about the fruit, we have to talk about the roots. Because the fruit starts at the root. And the mothers, it could go so far back, but we ain't gonna, we'd be here for hours. But
right, we want to go right now. Go ahead, shoot.
It starts with that. Back in the days, we had the where's that? Papa was a Rolling Stone. Wherever he laid his hat was his home. We had that. So Papa wasn't in the home. Mom was there alone. Mom raised children. She was barely there because she had to provide for the children.
Right.
System or welfare or whatever, and it goes from there. Then the children grow up. They see mama doing it alone. The women start to resent the men. You know what I mean? The men feel like they want to provide for the women, and that would be my generation of where pops wasn't around, mom's doing it by herself. My sisters see that, they resent men. Me and my brother, we want to get the money where we're comfortable with the women. We jeopardize things. jeopardize our freedom to get the money to take care of the women. We get locked up and the cycle continues. We're not there in the house with the females. They grow up, they look for men.
And the cycle continues.
It just keeps boiling over like that, you know what I mean? And what we got to get back to is the point, like you said, where the women trust us, you know what I mean? I've been with my wife 19 years. 19 years, the only woman I've been with, the only woman I've touched in 19 years, 6 years. And it was a struggle. I had to prove to her that I wasn't her father. I had to prove to her that I wasn't any man that she was with prior. I had to prove to her that I wasn't old, like she could trust me.
Right.
You know what I mean? I could tell my wife right now, just go on the roof and jump off. You're gonna be all right. She's gonna be with it.
Right.
In 19 years, I proved that. You know what I mean? Like she knows that ultimately what men have to do. You know, us black men. What ultimately women thrive off security. They want financial security.
Mm-hmm.
They want
stability. Yep. Security, stability. Go ahead.
Right, like this, women thrive off security. They want to feel secure. They want to feel secure in their homes, feel secure financially, and feel secure when they're out in the street. They want to know that you ain't gonna let nobody harm them.
This is my cousin. This is my cousin, y'all. This is my blood cousin. Shoot. Go ahead, cuz. Yeah. This nigga look like me. Go ahead, shoot. So, and I had to throw that in there, right? Because I like to speak a lot on the men. I like to get our men in focus because I know to solve a lot of these problems is it starts with the men. When the team ain't doing good, they fire the coach. And then we got all-star players on the team, but they fire the coach. And what I've noticed now is when I speak, a lot of men don't want to listen to what I say. Say this one more time. When I speak about men getting on code, the men don't want to hear it. That is a problem when men close their ears about bettering themselves. What's up, Rel? When men, and I had a good talk with Blunts and Bars. Rel, what's up? When men close their ears about getting better, we ain't going nowhere. Because you cannot have a strong community when you got weak men. It doesn't make any sense. That's my nephew, Brother Clay. It don't make no sense. Men need to have a skill set and a network working together.
You know what it is?
Shoot.
I have this conversation with a lot of younger brothers that come up with this whole entrepreneur mindset, right? Because just like, you know, I spoke on the women, now we speak on the men.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's nothing wrong. I find nothing wrong if you have the skill sets to be an entrepreneur. I find nothing wrong with that. But every single person don't have that. They don't have the resources, they don't have the skill set, they don't have the mindset. They're just not built for that. And they look at what people who are entrepreneurs, or not even entrepreneurs, people that just elevated to high levels of worldly success. And you have these guys that had a bad upbringing, really are not that educated, you know, they're into the streets, or maybe whatever, they're just not, they don't have the material, they're not the material to reach, or they're not taking the stepping stones. I'm not saying that they
Go ahead. Now you're going somewhere. Go ahead. I was about to jump in. Go ahead. They don't have the stepping stone.
They don't take the stepping stones. They just want to go from, you know, high school to multi-millionaire because they have a camera and want to record YouTube and whatever the case may be. Whatever. They don't understand the process. They may look at people like yourself, you know what I mean, with the gold chain in your hand right now.
Yeah, you see what I'm doing? You see what I'm doing? By the way, this is a fake gold chain, everybody. This is fake. I put my fake gold chain on. I bought this for about $36 on Instagram. And there's a reason why I do this. Because it looks good and we are on social media.
But the reality is this.
This is what they respect.
There's two perspectives when it comes to this, right? So now the one perspective is that
Shoot.
the kids, they see the luxuries, they don't understand. I'm 45 years old. They may look physically, and one day I'll show myself. But they may see me and they see young, handsome man. People in general, they see young. In their mind, I think young person. I'm 45. I'll be 45 years old next month. And it took years, and I'm not no high level in life or whatever, but I'm content. I'm not really content from the point of not wanting more, but I'm happy with where I came from to where I am now and where I'm gonna go, God willing. And
Well, this is the thing.
These kids, they see these things. They may see the cars, the jewelry, because they don't see the work. They see the outcome. And so these men, they see people like yourself,
I want to get mellow up here.
our family members, friends, brothers, but they see these people and they say to themselves, I want that. And they jump out the window, not understanding that it was a process. It was a process. We had certain people with us, behind us. It's a process. But they jump out the window and they fail horribly. And then the women look at them and be like, "Oh, you bum ass nigga," or whatever the case may be. But you gotta is it frozen or are you reaching?
No. Go ahead. I'm just going through the chat.
And now
I'm gonna say something.
A man works to get to his level of success, right? And people are looking and they feel like he should dumb himself down. You know what I mean? Like
you said the men should dumb themselves down.
Like men that are successful, like men that aren't successful, or people that are not even men, women, whoever, they look at people who are successful and feel like they should dumb themselves down because the way it makes them feel.
Right. Well.
So now a man like yourself would take his shade off and say, "Oh, it's fake." No, it's not fake. It's very real. I work hard for this.
Well, this is what's respected right now, right? Big chains. I got a big chain on. I got some liquor. I got some liquor.
Because you wanted it and you liked it, but so now it's such a double-edged sword now. So someone may see a man of your magnitude,
right, and think it's real.
And no, not whether it's real, fake, whatever.
Doesn't matter.
They say to themselves, "I'm out of his league," so they put
right.
themselves out of the game. You know what I mean?
Right.
And you could be looking at her like, "Man, she's somebody. I see her ambition. I see these things. I want to work with her and get her somewhere in life. We could build something together."
All right, you know what? So let me jump in on that. Let me jump in right there. What you just said. I like what you just said. You said I see her. I want to build with her. Now, I speak from the standpoint of men build yourself up and create options. Right. That's the standpoint I stand on. Build yourself up and create the options, then choose what you want. Right. I also say it is very hard to put all, and the women may not agree with what I'm about to say, all of your time and emotional energy into one woman nowadays. I'm going to say this because I say this because of this, right? I'm going to tell you why I say this. Not you guys are older. I'm talking about the young brothers, right? I'm talking to the young guys right now. It is very hard for me to tell a young dude to put all your time and energy into the young women nowadays because this. One thing a mother and a father cannot protect their son from is heartbreak.
That's a fact.
Say this one more time. Say this one more time. Say this one more time. The one thing a mother and a father cannot protect their son from, I'm going to tell you why I said son and not daughter. I'll tell you in a minute. It's heartbreak. I have talked young men off the ledge because they were young brothers and they got cheated on. And they didn't know how to accept the fact that the young lady they was with went out and was intimate with a more successful man or older man that they couldn't compete with. In today's time, the young men of today are competing with men like us, 35, 40, 45, 50, who have had years to establish themselves in the world. Because if they open up their explore page or their DMs or whatever, they can have men who have 100 times what they have because they're young and they're trying to build themselves up. They can't compete with financially, and that's their competition. And it takes nothing for me to say, you know what, get your homegirls and a bunch of your friends, and I will fly you to Las Vegas to my $1 million home, and we'll swim in the pool. We have a great time. You take a bunch of pictures at my house. I'll be intimate with all your friends, and send you back home right to your next door neighbor who's 21 years old, who've been asking you for a date for the past 3 years. He has no chance at all. This is what the young brothers are faced with. This is why I pay so much attention to young men. This is why I say the young men, because I spoke to a young sister, a female friend of mine. Her son is 20. One was 20, one was 22. Very pretty young. Their girlfriends were very pretty young girls, and they had both gotten cheated on by their girlfriends, and one tried to commit suicide, uh, unsuccessful. He's still here, but one was just distraught behind his girl cheating on him. I had to have a conversation with him, and the only thing I told him was really to build yourself up, bro. You can't. There's nothing you can do about that. These young women, when it comes to the sexual market value, are winning because they are desired by so many. You know, they're desired by so many, and it's very hard to tell the young brothers that because they don't understand it. You know, they may be cute young guys, they're working hard, they're working out, and so forth. Somebody got a lot of background noise. Somebody got a lot of background noise. Oh, okay. Sound like you were putting together a building in the Empire State Building or something. I don't know what you're doing. No, I'm just I'm just messing with you, cuz. I just messing. Yeah. No, no, go ahead, go ahead. So what I want to say is go ahead. It's very hard to tell. Very hard to speak to young brothers who have been got their feelings hurt by the women that they were dating because the competition was so great. This is why I speak so much on young men building themselves up. Because I say this again, I see there's a few more people in the chat. One thing that a parent cannot protect their son from is heartbreak. It's going to happen. And sometimes young men react to it differently. They may react to it as doing harm to themselves, or they may just turn into savages, where they don't even care about the women no more, and they're doing them. Become very disrespectful to young women, and they have a lot of women, as far as uh, having sex with a lot of women. It happens, especially when they get to the point to build themselves up. So now, if you want to sit here and say, okay, well, why is this 35-year-old dude being around so many different women? Chances are he might have been hurt back when he was 25. You know what I'm saying? You understand what I'm saying? That might be to the women say, well, he's 40 years old and why he got a bunch of women? Okay, well, ask that brother what happened when he was 20 years old when he didn't have anything. And the women turned their back on him. When he was actually giving them the attention they may have wanted, and they didn't want him. Now he built himself up to a certain degree. You know what happened now? You know what? F him. I'm gonna do me. I don't want to get too much over topic. We're talking about the passport bros, Kenny. We've been outside. We got a couple of new. What's going on, D? But I don't want to. What time is it? It's 9:30. We've been on for an hour already. Speaking of block, but I want to talk about this. I was talking about the single women in here, single women of America, and not having to go to the waste your passport or get kidnapped in Colombia. About being, you missed the topic, Rose. The topic was about single women in America. But you know what? This is going an hour. Right? We got 11 people here in the chat. Kenny, you want to add something to it before I go on? Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Listen, brother, you know what I'm saying? Really, I think it's like see where the conversation's gonna lead to. You know, I always like to listen to brother, you know what I'm saying? The family's dropping jewels too. You know? I'm like, I say keep going, talk your shit. You know?
Somebody said Swiss said he got kidnapped and robbed in Colombia. Somebody said he got kidnapped and robbed in Colombia, right? Now I witnessed him getting kidnapped. I couldn't do anything. I didn't have any kind of weapons on me, and he got kidnapped and robbed in Colombia. What happened was he was in Colombia. He gave the girl about $37. He wanted his money back, and she didn't want to give him back his 37. So because he didn't want to give back the 37, not 7, the 37, I had a few drinks. He got into an argument with the girl for the 37. She called up a dude come up on the scooter. Another dude come up on the scooter. A scooter, right? They didn't ride scooters out there. And he said, he tell me, yo, come outside. Everybody be going down. I say, nigga, listen, we ain't in South Jamaica. You know what I'm talking about? We in Medellin. If I'm correct, isn't that where homeboy was at? What's the dude name that was the big drug dealer? Escobar? Was Escobar? Pablo. Pablo was in Medellin. And the nigga that pulled up looked like he might have been one of the shooters for Pablo. I said, brother, might have to let her get that little $37, man, because we ain't not in the best position to fight this dude for your $37. Swit was relentless about his $37. Relentless. He grabbed the front of the scooter. He wanted to let the lady pull off with the $37. All this bull. I said, come on, Swit. You know, I think it was more him being a sexual deviant is what it was. I think it was the fact that the girl was leaving and they had a nuts in the sand, in the sense. You know what I'm talking about? He didn't get his rocks off, and he was down 37. That's what it was about. Swear, a hell of a story, but it's the truth. He was down 37. So we might have to swing since, and one time Sweat actually had to get deported to come back from Colombia the first time he went because he went during the COVID time and the restrictions had ran out and he couldn't get a COVID test. They had to deport the nigga to come back. He waited a year to go back to Colombia to go back and get robbed for 37. It's fucked up, man. That's fucked up, man. It's been a rough ride for the brother, man. Let me tell you something. I'm gonna tell you some bullshit because I don't have the answer to nobody. So I'm gonna talk some shit about when we went to Sosua. Right? Go ahead, because it was kind of crazy. Went to Sosua. I went twice. I went the first time and went the second time. That's twice, right? So the first time I went to Sosua, oh man, I can't share this story. This is crazy. This is crazy. I can't even share that. I swear to God, I can't. I'm gonna finish this shit off. I can't even share that shit. But I just know when this is. I got that Basil Hayden Dog rhyme, man. Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm gonna get up, man. We've been on what happened now. So let's see what happened, man. Listen, let me tell you. It's hard to. I don't want to talk fresh, but I want to say this. But no, boy. This is what I want to say to my brothers out there in America. It has become very dangerous to travel out of the United States right now, in Colombia, right? Because I think the dude named Oster Holloman, has went viral on YouTube about putting out the sexual tourism lifestyle called the Passport Bros. Right, it's become very dangerous, and on top of the dude getting shot and whatever, right after that, a bunch of dudes that I know as being scammers, they went out there and they pulled everybody over and they robbed everybody. They robbed like about 8-9 people in the cars, right? They did the same thing over. They robbed everybody. That's what they did, and the security was with was a part of it, right? Um, there's single women out here, and if you want to meet a woman now, it's just about getting your charisma, uh, your manhood. Meaning, you need to be men need to be around other men, and us as men in our the third quarter of life, we have to be examples to the younger men. Switch said the Knicks name going crazy.
What did he talk about?
Swit was the person that got robbed in Colombia. He said Knicks game going crazy. He got robbed in Colombia. This is his problem. He don't stay focused. That's why he got robbed for $37 in Colombia because he don't stay focused. The Knicks the next game going game crazy. This nigga's in Florida. You don't even matter. You don't even matter in Florida. Piece of shit. Listen, we've been on for an hour, man. You guys, I'll let you, Kenny. I'll let you say your last words before Cuz, and I'll end it. Go ahead, Kenny. Want to end up with something?
Yeah, man. Always appreciate chiming in, man. Listening to the talk. You know what I mean? Sharing a little bit. It's always good, brothers, to get online, talk they talk. So you know, Jules.
Jules. Okay, let me just knock you off. Okay, Cuz, you want to end with something, Cuz?
So just accountability on both sides, male and female. More on the male, be responsible for the females. You know what I mean? Lay down the lane, step up your game. That's it.
Well, let me ask you one question. What's one thing you can say played a major part in your successful marriage and raising? We said 6 kids, right? 6 children.
Right, six, 5 girls and 1 boy. So I'm dealing with women from all ages.
So, what would you say was one of the key things that played a part in you having a successful marriage with children over the course of all these years?
Definitely patience,
Mm-hmm.
patience and understanding that our women are broken. That was the biggest part.
Right.
Understanding that our women are broken,
Mm-hmm.
and if I allow myself to like be intimidated by her being broken, or not just her, but women in general.
Mm-hmm.
If I allow myself to be intimidated by broken women,
Mm-hmm.
that's further breaking them. You know what I mean? It's like a glass that's broken into 8 pieces. When you like me being intimidated by them, it shatters them to 16 pieces or more, like 32. It just keeps going. So just like not letting that. Yeah, I looked at it like I'm doing my part to not continue that cycle. So
Well,
whatever is said, don't apply to me.
I got to ask you a question now. I want to dig on this a little bit before I get off.
Definitely.
What did you? Well, let me ask you. Okay, first of all, how old were you when you met her?
24, 25.
Right. Okay. So, what if she was a broken woman, female? What about her made you want to have patience with her to put that time in order to be where you're at now?
Well,
Why her? Why her?
I think more so, I looked at her mother.
Mm-hmm. Her mother. Okay.
Her mother was headed in a certain direction. That like I was living a certain way. So I said to myself, if something happened to me, what's gonna happen? Like if I had a family with this woman, something happened to me with the way that I was living. How is this woman gonna be able to provide for my children? So it wasn't so much what she could provide because it's like her family structure was good. She like the family she comes from was very close, and that crazy. Most of our conflict was over how close her family was, which was one of the reasons why I looked at her.
Right. So let me hold up. So Elise, call me Elise said because it's $20 can pay for something in another country. Right. So at least the conversation shifted a little bit from. When I close, I'm gonna close with the passport thing. I'm talking to my cousin who was married for 20. What, has it been 20 years yet, cuz?
Almost 20 years,
19
19.
years,
19 years.
6 kids, 6 children,
6 children.
6 children. This the only woman you've been with all that time. And I asked him, why her is what I asked him. And I think that's his question that need to be asked amongst more successfully married black folk.
Right.
And I'm glad you answered that. So you said her family structure and her mother played an important part. All right, you can go ahead. I'm gonna close with what I'm gonna close with, but go ahead, cuz. You want to say something else? You want to add to that?
Yeah, that was it.
That
Like
was
the
it.
family structure, they were tight and everything like that. And I know, like I said, like 'cause we came up wanting to provide, and we did things to jeopardize our lives, our freedom, all sorts of things to be able to provide.
And let me ask
I
you,
wanted to know, right? Go ahead.
so all those children that she has is between you and her. That's all your children.
Yes,
Okay,
it's me and her.
that's very important. That's right. Did she at the time that you married her? Did she have a career, or you guys built a career together? Whatever you had going on.
Well, when I first met her and we had my first child, she was well, like just bouncing from like what she wanted to do, like majoring and stuff like that. And it was more so because her mother wanted her to go in a certain direction. So I told her it got to a point where I'm watching her go from this school to that school. Like she was always in school, always in school.
Mm-hmm.
And she was going bouncing from school to school. And I told her, I said, listen, because I'm a person where I've always, from a young kid, I've been on my own. You know what I mean? It's just the way things work. So when it came to her, her mother had a lot of influence on her. So she was doing what she thought was gonna make her mother happy. So it came to a point where I said to her, I said, you're never gonna be successful doing what you think somebody else wants you to do. Figure out what it is you want to do. Take your time and do it. Don't worry about nothing. I'll take care of everything. So she figured out what she wanted to do.
Masculinity.
And
Masculinity. Go ahead. Go ahead.
when she went down that course, and mind you, I'm no, you know, I was struggling at that time working bullcrap jobs, but she was secure enough for me to know that if I told her that, I was going to do what I had to do. So she started getting into the medical field, and she just went deeper and deeper. And now she's what two degrees into her medical field. You know what I mean? And
Right.
she did what she wanted to do, and that's when she excelled at what she wanted to do.
So the whole time you had her back in supporting her on what she was doing.
Definitely.
And
Because
I have to ask a question,
right.
real quick. I just want to. Was she raised with her father in her life?
No, the father was murdered when she was young.
Okay, so that's. Oh, sorry to hear that. That's my condolences.
No,
Yeah. I know now it's a thing of the
part of that
past.
cycle.
Right.
Right? It's that cycle where you're trying to provide, you get killed. Same
So
thing. And that's why I had the mentality I had, where it's like I got to make sure she's good. So if something happens to me, she has her career. She don't have to be the the person that these passport dudes go to.
right, and this is what I meant earlier about. This is why the conversation with the passport dudes. This is what I said. What I said. They don't have to display masculinity in order to be intimate with a woman in those countries. That's why I said that. And this is why I listen. People got to listen real freaking good, right? Because you telling your story, you display masculinity where that woman can trust you for stability and security to make her want to say, I want to move forward with him. I want to give him these children. I want to be loyal to him and follow his path that he's laid out in concrete, even though the concrete wasn't dry yet, because you said you were struggling.
Right.
So the concrete wasn't dry yet, but you as a man, your masculinity was concrete.
Right.
And because your masculinity was concrete, she was able to walk on it to get where y'all at now, 6 kids, almost 20 years later. Is that what I'm hearing? Exactly. And this is why I stay 10 toes down when I talk about the men, because he's talking right now. His wife of 19 years came from a background. Her father was violently murdered. She didn't have a path. And now they have 6 kids later, 19 years of marriage. Because of his masculinity.
Can another woman, right? Can another woman in those 19 years say I did anything?
Right. It's possible. Call me Alicia always said, no, do you think the lawyer men are out there? And I believe it.
Right.
They're out there. I believe it. I never get pushed back. I believe it. It just meaning these women now they're underrepresented. That's a great word to use. The loyal men are underrepresented, right? But the masculinity is not looked upon in these other countries. These dudes go out there and they're paying this money to have be intimate with women. They don't have to display masculinity. They don't have to display leadership. There is no leadership in being a passport bro. There is no masculinity in being a passport bro.
Right. It's none of that. You know what I mean?
There's none of that.
None of that. Because it's that, like what I told you, women look for three types of security. They look for financial security, they look for security of their emotions, and they look for physical security. Like you protect me, and all those passport guys show is the financial security, and it's like financial, like money is nothing. You know what I mean? Like and masculinity isn't necessarily like toughness. It's that is all masculinity to me is those three things together combined. The securing a woman's emotions, securing her financially, and securing her physically. That is masculinity. They only have one aspect of it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? There's the finances, and that's whatever. I'll go over there and punch you in your face and take your money. You know what I mean? So it's like, what are you gonna do once I grab you up and take your money? What are you gonna do? You know what I mean? You're nothing. You're equal to these emasculated men that is like you're nothing without your money. So they have to their money. They have to lead with their money because there's nothing else without it.
There's nothing else without it.
Right? Nothing else without it. They go over there. They feel comfortable. She wants you. She doesn't want you. She wants your money.
Want your money.
You know what I mean?
Because this has been a great additive to the conversation because it's just been great. And I'm going to clip this. I'm going to post part of this because this is what our men need to hear. A lot of times the men don't want to hear what I have to say because I hold men accountable.
And that word you just said right there, accountability, men don't have that no more. Accountability, they don't hold themselves accountable for nothing.
Right.
And that's why they hit and quit. It's harder to stay here. And I was a person I never was easy. I always like a challenge. And it's more challenging to do what everybody else isn't doing.
Right.
Right is right. Right is right if you're the only one that's doing it. Wrong is wrong, even if everyone is doing it.
That's a fact.
You understand? So I'm attractive. I know I'm attractive. I tell my wife, she knows I'm attractive. You understand?
Right.
You know, because we look alike.
Right. Exactly. Exactly.
You know what I mean? Physically, you know what I mean? So it's like there's nothing to have other women, but I don't want that because that's easy.
It's easy.
That's easy. I want the challenge of another 20 years from now saying that I was married to my wife for 40 years.
No, you said something. You said something. About being attractive. The reason why I wear, let me tell you something. The reason why I wear this shirt to show my arms on these lives is to show a sign of strength, right? No bullshit. Strength.
Yeah, look at the form.
Men, other men get intimidated by another man showing how strong he is. And I think they call me greatness in the chat. This is something that people don't understand. They call me greatness in the chat, right? He's on the live. They call me great. If you still there, say something. Strong dude. Sometimes he motivates me in the morning when I don't feel like getting up and going to work out. I do it for a reason. And some men will back off the conversation because a man that shows that they're stronger than him is talking. The woman might actually be attracted to the man that's talking in front of a woman. And they back off the conversation because, baby, let's go. Because he's bigger, he's stronger than him. No, brother. How about you stand there and learn from that brother? How about you stand there and say, you know what? What did he do to get the strength that he got? How about that? But they'll run from it. A man with strength and power to go run with a woman and look tough in front of a woman, not amongst other men. How do men measure up amongst other men? These passport bros aren't measuring up around other men. That's the problem. You had no need to show masculinity around when you got $8 in your pocket. So it's showing you lack masculinity, brother, because all you showing is $100, $120. That's all you showing.
Yeah, one thing that those dudes with those passport brother mentality, like they recognize when the real man is around. I don't care how much money the passport brothers have. They recognize when the real man is around.
And they don't want to be around them. They don't want to be around them.
Yo, I've been in situations where I'm walking places and I see a guy with his lady or female, whatever she is doing, I don't know. And I see the guy, they recognize when a man is around.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
And I've seen it where guys grab up their ladies.
Mm-hmm.
Watching me so hard, they grab up their ladies and hug them up and kiss them up. And it makes the lady look around to see like what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
And the attention that they showed me made their ladies look at me.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? So it's like they know when real masculinity and real men are around, then women know it too. You know?
So looking at what the plug's wife said, she said, passport bros and they can buy respect and masculinity because they go to countries where the men aren't as masculine or as of status. He is so true because those men are, in statistics, you can look this up. You won't want to look this up. Are shorter, they're smaller, and they're less endowed as black men. This is stats. They're less endowed, they're shorter and smaller than black. That's why when these black men go to those countries, we stand out so much because of our size.
Right.
Because we have been bred for the last 455 years, we've been bred.
Right. But you know what else is like I said now, is women look for three characteristics because you could go to regions in Africa.
Right, Angel.
Muscular men.
Right.
Would kill an animal with their bare hands.
Facts.
So now they lack, like they have the emotional security part that they could give to a woman. They have the protecting part, but they don't have the money. So women are always looking for the combination because the combination equals masculinity. So when you go to countries, you might have a short man with a lot of money that knows how to take care of women, but he's short and he doesn't have that muscular, tall look that they. So they want all three. So you could go to various countries throughout the world and you be like, man, handsome guy, why you don't have no women? Because they don't have any money.
Right.
You see the foreigner come with the money, and that's the one thing that the woman is missing from the men that she's used to, so she's attracted to the money.
Right.
Or if the guy comes over, he doesn't have money, but he's tall and muscular. So now they're like, oh man, look at this tall, muscular guy. All the guys here have money. I don't care about money.
You know what?
The women
You're right.
For that combination.
So I'm going to read what Plug's wife said. Passport bros. She said, "Passport are kings in Southeast Asia because the Asian men can't compete in certain departments." That's what I just said. I met a few passport bros on my trip, and they are drained from the women out here. I reminded them of home, and now they miss a familiar face. Exactly, because when you go out to these countries, let me tell you, I'm going to be 100% candid right now. Right? I'm speaking from a black man, black moms, black sisters, black cousins, all of them, strong women. If she got cranky, we went to fight in the street. The sisters was there, the cousins was there. We all was there. We always saying this. Give them a head up. If you don't win, we all jumping in. You don't win, we all jumping in. That was the background of being raised in the era of New York City in the 70s, 80s, and 90s. If you don't win, we all jumping. It is what it is. There's nothing like the physique of a black woman. I'm gonna tell you something. I'm gonna take you to the buck. Nothing like the physique of a black woman. Because you can go to this country all you want. East Asia, the women ain't got no hips. I said what I said. I'm gonna stand on it. They might ban me for the fuck I said. They ain't got no hips. There's something called baby bearing hips on a woman that is attractive. They ain't got no hips. They don't have no round bottoms. Women right now are paying for hips. You can go to DR and get injections for hips. We grew up around hips. Well, you know who Betty Boop was. You know who Betty Boop was. You know who. So let me give you a quick teaching lesson if you don't know who Betty Boop was. Betty Boop was a very popular cartoon character in the early 1900s. She had a short haircut. She was deemed to be very sexy but classy. Betty Boop was made after the woman named Esther Jones. Esther Jones was a black woman who was a jazz singer from Harlem, New York City. I don't have to Google none of this shit because I know it already because I know the history of the beauty of our women. They made a movie about it. Go ahead and shoot, brother. Shoot. Go ahead. Yes, sir. No. She played Tina Turner. No, that was Tina Turner. That was Tina Turner. You talking about Tina Turner? No. Esther Jones. I don't know if they. No. Esther Jones. Let me see. I don't know if they did one by Esther. They did one by Tina Turner, which along the same line. Okay, so after Esther Jones, there was Tina Turner. So they were around the same age because Tina Turner might be around her 70s or 80s. That was around the same time of Esther Jones. Esther Jones was a beautiful sister with a short haircut and sung and sang like it was coming out of a Paramount Studios, but it was her natural voice. That's how good Esther Jones sang. Sort of like Nina Simone, her voice was so great. And she was a beautiful woman with a short haircut, natural haircut. She got up every morning and did her hair. There was no such things as weaves and frontals and shit like that back then. She did her hair. Cause I got to end the live. They're gonna start shut up. We got some good people that stayed the whole live. This is crazy. Everybody stayed. They call me great. The Plug's wife, Boo Chips, Cena, that's my brother. A lot of people checked out. They checked out of us, but they didn't check out of social media because they probably seen each other twerk chats and all kind of other bullshit, garbage that goes viral. Listen, we're gonna do this again on Thursday. We got a great conversation coming Thursday, everybody. Um, Thursday, right? Thursday. Emojis, share it, uh, take clips from it. I want to chop this one up because it was some important stuff. Cause I need you back again because you come from a dynamic of a married black man and raising 6 children, not kids, children, because kids is the billy goat we say back in days. Raising 6 children, coming out the crack era, the violent era where there was no cameras, because when a MF did a crime, it was not recorded back then. He didn't go to jail. He just did a crime and went on by his way. And a lot of dudes out here living with it. You know what I'm talking about? So listen, cuz you want to say good night, man, go ahead. And I'm gonna end it to my peoples to say good night as well. Go ahead, say good night to the people. Hit my DM, man. You know, hit my DM. You know that, man. Love you, cuz. Likewise. Likewise. I'm going to say something in there right now. I got my face on this shit. God damn it. Oh, 1 second. Yeah, cause I done went on the goddamn thing. It don't matter. Sound like my situation, but mine didn't work out. Hey man, listen, V, we gotta V. I want to get you on here so much, V, man. I gotta get you on, V. This was actually a great King V. King was going. This was a great. I don't know why YouTube, Instagram does me like that. King Lee, I mean, you missed a good one, King Lee. Coming back on Thursday. This was a dope live, man. With some great conversation. The people we brought on, I definitely appreciate it. Those that chimed in. I'm gonna say something in this off. Excuse me. I'm gonna say something in this off. The original conversation was about Palm. No, it's fine, King Lee. King Lee, I'm coming. You know what, King Lee, it wasn't your fault because what they do is they shadow ban me and shit like that. I'm going back on Thursday. I want to highlight you, young brother, because you have a different insight on what we was talking about, and it was about the passport so-called bros, these dudes here. But I want to end this on something. I want to say something to the young brothers, right? And I wrote down a couple of notes. And what we touched on tonight was this, right? These dudes, these passport dudes. When you're buying pleasure from a woman in these countries, right? And in these countries, this is adult talks, by the way, my YouTube. In these countries, you're valued for what you have in your pocket at the time that you have arrived in the country. You are not valued for what you have built up before you got to the country. Understand what I'm saying? You're valued for what you have in your pocket when you arrived in the country, not what you built up before you got to the country. In America, like uh, Cuz said, they look for stability and security. It takes time to build security and stability for a woman. Men should definitely build themselves up to a point where they can provide security and stability. And then be choosy on who they choose to provide, make stable, and secure as they move forward in life. Men must understand the significance of having a skill and a network working together as a bicycle and not a unicycle. It's so far you're going to go with one wheel. But when you got a bicycle, you can go for miles. This has been proven. That's what have the races. There are no marathon ran with unicycles. Both wheels must work together in order to get you as far as possible in life. The bicycle, the network, and the social skills as well. A man must be fidgety. When he has downtime, he's looking for something else to do. I'm speaking to my young men right now. As we get older, we get more comfortable. I am an older man, and I'm still fidgety. I'm still looking for shit to do. I'm 50 years old, and I love it. I'm in shape, 50 years old. I'm in the gym. They call me great. That's another brother. They call me great. You need to follow him. Brother's 50 years old. He's in the gym every day. I don't back off my age. I don't back off it because at 50 years old, I still look for shit to do. I don't like sitting on the couch all day sleeping. I set my alarm clock at 6:30 in the morning every freaking morning to get up and find shit to do. We've become too complacent, too comfortable to the fact that we can actually get some money by sitting in front of a computer and a YouTube, buy a plane ticket, go to another country, and buy intimacy from another woman and be satisfied from it. Understand what I'm saying? You go out there for an occasion, a bachelor party and so forth. Fine, do what you're gonna do. Buy a little bit of box. And niggas don't want to hear what I gotta say. They don't want to hear what I gotta say. I expect the men to chime out. We've got to a point now we can make money in our homes from our cellular phones. Our men, I'm talking to the men. We can make money from our cell phones. Take that same money, buy a plane ticket, go on a plane, go to another country, never once stepping out to be in a social environment with a woman. Get out and go buy it from another place. From a woman who does not care about your masculinity, what you work for all your life, what you do, where you live, or nothing. What your education is, what your parents look like or say to you or whatever. She doesn't care nothing about what you're doing in your life back in America because you got $150 in your pocket. Or I can break it down differently. I'm the man they don't want to talk to on these podcasts because I'm gonna look at I'm gonna put him in a different I'm gonna put him in a different light. Exactly. I'm a wait a minute. I gotta read with this brother. Let me tell you something. That brother King Lee is 23 years old. And he said easy access. They just want to do the bare minimum because they are bare minimum men. I'm gonna borrow that slogan. Bare minimum men. This is what we have accepted in society. Bare minimum men who have to show nothing in order to have access to women that in America they will look like gorgeous women because the fitness factor is a little bit different. They may be smaller over there, they may got longer hair, but you know what? They're smaller because they don't eat as much. They don't have access to the extremities that American women have. They have to wear their natural hair because they don't have access to the amount of money that American women have in order to get their hair done. That costs $300-400 a week or whatever women pay for that. I was in the hair business for all my life. My life was built on the hair business. They don't need it. But we have become comfortable and accepted men doing absolutely nothing but making money in the basement in front of a freaking computer and going out to buy intimacy from other women. Thank you, Mamelos. It's looks. I can go on for a long period of time because, and I like when certain people chime in, but it gets me frustrated. And I've been to these countries. Listen, I don't know no more people that got more stamps on their passport than me. I swear to God, I went through about 6, 7 passports already, full for the last 30. I don't know, but I've been there. I've seen it. I've been in places that people don't even know the name. I've been in those places. I've met these women. I speak 2 languages, and I was born in America. I know what it means to put the work in. I know what it means to be a leadership man here and to be also one in another country. If you're a sucker here, you're a sucker in another country. If you're a leader here, you're a leader in another country. If you're a sucker here, you're a sucker in another country. With that being said, everybody, I'm gonna bid you good night because this actually gets me upset to think we have accepted this bullshit moving forward with these men. I'm going on Thursday. I'm gonna try to bring in a couple of females. The question of the day on Thursday will be about men accepting accolades and validation as a female And does that show their feminine energy? Is it this thing what Chris Rock has said about men being accepted for unconditional unconditional love or some shit? I don't know. Suckers that says suckers attract suckers. That's why they have to pay. Can't run from the sucker. And you do right. Listen, man. Cuzzo, Mamelos, call me great. Everybody that's in the chat. Plug's wife, of course. Love is love always. Dr. Ponce de Leon, Sino, my brother, everybody, man, I appreciate you. Like I said, I don't speak word. I don't expect people to be. My live is kind of long. I don't expect people to be in my lives too long because I'm gonna say some shit that's gonna trigger some people. And I get it. It's fine. I don't give a shit. Boo Chips, always a pleasure. Always a pleasure. A pleasure. Beautiful, beautiful. You guys have a good night. Listen, I'll see you Thursday. We're going to compare the masculine and feminine, femininity, validation, and accolades. I will post. Um, See you then. Everyone have a blessed night. Hey, King Lee, man, you going to start a conversation, brother. You have me going for another hour, man. Yes, sir. We're going to have more. We're going to have more, King Lee. I'm going to send you. I'm going to put you in a group, King Lee, and put you when I send the chats out. All right? The lives out. Everybody have a good night. I'm finished. I apologize. It went longer than what I expected.